the cabinet, governor of the Public Investment Fund. Where's Yasser? Yasser's here someplace. Sometimes I see him dressed both ways. I don't know. It's cooler that way. I'd dress that way if I could.
Trump says he'll wear a thobe and a keffiyeh. Go ahead, Trump. You can wear it. It's not, just for Muslims. Anybody can wear it. They look very comfortable, but he's there saying, can you picture it? He just said to the world, told the Saudi gentleman down there sitting with a thobe and a keffiyeh, hey, I'd wear one of those if I could. You can. Go ahead. Throw one on. See how it goes for you. Anyway, the meeting that Trump just had with Saudi Arabia, the forum, the investment forum, it was such the pandering. I've never seen Trump pander to a group of people like he just pandered to these guys. The banter was so wow, like, whoa, dude, he doesn't even respect Putin this way. He doesn't respect Netanyahu this way. He just, think of it for just 1 second. Before the election, how many times did you hear Trump talk about Saudi Arabia or Pakistan or these Islamic states that don't recognize Israel, and they want the two-state solution for Palestine, and they won't recognize Israel until they get it? How do I say this? Trump has banged a U-turn on his base. He's banged a U-turn and went, towards the people who didn't vote for him, the people who were protesting Israel the whole time. They're loving it. They're loving this guy. But the people in Trump who voted for Trump, who thought that we were looking at democracy and this and that, he's going towards Islamic states now, people. This is really like, wow. Nobody expected this. And that's fine if he does it. But I'm just saying, the base that voted for him didn't expect this. And we're going to go over it. Let's go over this because I'm tired of talking about this so much. I want you guys to get what's actually going on here. Let's go ahead and go over this for a second.
I want to thank my friend and great gentleman, Crown Prince Mohammed of Saudi Arabia, for his bold leadership and deep commitment to the ties between our two countries. Thank you. Thank you. Great gentleman. Yesterday we had a phenomenal visit at the White House celebrating the 80-year bond between the United States and Saudi Arabia. We ended with an unbelievable show last night in a room that was far too small, but the next time you're here, you'll have a much bigger room. It's gonna be much bigger. I made more enemies last night by we had 119 people. That was a record for the room. So they've wanted for 150 years. They've been clamoring for a ballroom at the White House, and we're giving them one. We're giving them one plus, and it'll be something. But you'll be here. You'll be among the first, if not the first, if you'd like. We'll work.
So the President Trump is building the ballroom, and he is just telling the Saudis in the Islamic State that you will be among the first. If you would like to come here, just come on. I mean, dude, it gets really bad. It's so almost to the point to where you're like, Trump, is this Trump? But let's keep going.
Get out. We officially designated the kingdom yesterday as the major non-NATO ally. That's a big deal. That's actually a very big deal. That happens seldom, very seldom, if at all.
We have a lot of friends out there like India and other democracies that are saying, you did what? Islamic State, non-NATO ally? You're not even giving Ukraine non-NATO ally, and they're a democracy, supposedly. This friendship goes deep. This friendship goes deep into the family businesses of Trump. The billions and billions that Trump is making through Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. It goes really deep. I've got videos out there, and I'd like you to go back and watch them. But we're going to keep going.
So I just want to congratulate you on that. That's a sign of trust. We signed a historic strategic defense agreement yesterday also, and that's something that is likewise very rare, and it's a very honored company that you're in. And we're going to be selling Saudi Arabia some of the greatest military equipment ever built. We build the best military equipment in the world by far. That's why we do the most business, including nearly 300 American-made tanks, is what you're buying, among many other things. The airplanes, and we're working on getting that approved very quickly. It's already approved, but don't worry. You're in good shape, very good shape. The partnership between our two nations is among the most consequential in the entire world, and together the Crown Prince and I are making an alliance stronger and more powerful than it's ever been before. We've had good relationships and frankly not good. You didn't have a good relationship with Barack Hussein Obama. You didn't have a good relationship with Sleepy Joe Biden. But you had a great relationship with me, and now it's as good as it was, and probably even better if you think about it, because this week our countries also signed groundbreaking agreements on civil nuclear energy, critical minerals, and artificial intelligence. And I want to congratulate a lot of the great American leaders, business leaders that are in the room, and you'll do a great job for Saudi Arabia and for a lot of other people in the room that are buying your product, taking your product, and using your product. All of that is in addition to the $600 billion investment in the United States that Saudi Arabia announced during my unforgettable visit there last spring. Well, I said, could you try and get that up to $1 trillion? And yesterday, the Crown Prince announced that the number that they'll be investing in the United States is $1 trillion. So that's really an honor.
You know, that does sound good. It sounds great. Investing $1 trillion into America. Any country that invests their money into America is great for the American people. Some of them. I mean, how much money is the average American going to make more by this? Because they're buying tanks, they're buying media, they're investing to make themselves richer, and they're investing in media down in Miami, where they're calling it Miami Arabia. So they're buying America. They're literally, is America for sale is the question to Islam. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, but is this what the Americans wanted? That's just a question that I have out there, throwing it out there for you guys. If it is, it's, freedom of choice. So here we go. We're going to keep going with President Donald Trump in the Saudi Arabia Forum.
And really, countries that took advantage of us are no longer taking advantage of us. Some of our friends treated us far worse than our enemies on trade anyway, and we've got that all straightened out. And everybody's happy. They respect us again. It's like one of those things. I think they like us better, and they actually respect us, and it works out much better for us, too.
Now, let me just give a quick explanation of that. Who he's talking to there specifically is India. It's India. It's the 50% tariffs for messing with Russia. But if you know, India and Saudi Arabia, India kind of took Saudi Arabia's oil business away from them when the Russia-Ukraine war started. Saudi Arabia wasn't allowed to sell it anymore. It was part of the pact. And they were the head of the pact, so they couldn't, violate their own law. So India took over that business of the oil. And now India is keeping it. And Trump is really mad. He wants to help his friends who he's been talking to the whole time he was, going through his 4 years of not being president. He was over in Saudi Arabia and doing all these business deals. And those business deals have his personal business deals. So the United States is now shunning one of its friends, India, 1.4 billion people, a democracy, and now taking Pakistan and Saudi Arabia over India. So all these things that we're hearing is basically about that. When he says, our friends were not treating us like friendly, he's talking about India there. So I'm going to keep this going.
But I especially want to thank our numerous Saudi friends here today, including the ambassador to the United States, a friend of mine, Princess Rima. Thank you very much. Great job. Great representative you have. You sent a good representative. And many distinguished ministers and members of the cabinet, governor of the Public Investment Fund. Where's Yasser? Yasser's here someplace. Sometimes I see him dressed both ways. I don't know. It's cooler that way. I'd dress that way if I could.
Yeah, you can. Like I said, Donald Trump, you can put a thobe on if you want, bro. It's your life. But who he's talking to now is the head of the oil industry in Saudi Arabia. You might have seen him sitting down next to Trump during a UFC fight with Elon Musk in November, or I believe it was November, right after he won the election. The guy came and was doing personal stuff. They're making personal businesses and setting up things before he gets inaugurated, getting his businesses out of the way and intact, which is exactly what this is about, I think, personally. And I've done my homework, and we've done our math, and we've done much investigation on this with Donald Trump Jr., with Jared Kushner, with all of his business ties. Or Donald Trump is banking. Oh, he doesn't take a check. I don't want to hear it. He doesn't take a check. He doesn't need to. That would be chump change compared to what he's making with these deals. And it's not what the people voted for. America first. And now he's got his family first, and then America, which we'll see how it goes.
Yasser's terrific. He's a terrific man, actually. So thank you very much, Yasser. But I watched a guy the other day, a congressman, fighting for men playing in women's sports. And the new weightlifting record for a certain weight was just set. The man was 119 pounds higher than a woman champion who was a phenomenal champion. Beat her by 119, and he was an average lifter prior to transitioning. A lot of the Saudis are sitting here saying, what the hell is he talking about transition? They don't do a lot of transitioning. They're sitting here, the Saudis are saying, what is he talking about? They're saying, what do you mean women are playing against men? No, that doesn't happen, does it?
Yeah, he's right. Donald Trump is talking to the Saudis and speaking about trans here in America. They don't do that in Saudi. They're not allowed to do that in Saudi. They would get, I don't know what they would do, but they have Sharia law in Saudi. Okay, so it's not allowed. So when they start talking about trans and wokeness, the Saudis are like, I'm just saying that, yeah, they don't have that there, which is one of the reasons I think Trump really likes them.
They're saying, what do you mean women are playing against men? No, that doesn't happen, does it? Yeah, it does. These people are crazy. So they make look, the Democrats, I don't know, some of you are probably liberal Democrats. I don't know about in your country. I don't know if you know that word liberal. The word liberal doesn't exist. But they have a new word now. You can't use liberal, you have to use the word progressive. And I don't like using it. It's a beautiful word, progressive. Progressive, that's not them. They're regressive. No, they're regressive. Think of it. And I don't want to get him in trouble, but that gentleman right there, the most respected man in the room. That's today. Most respected man, I have to say that.
Okay, I get it. You're bantering. You're fluffing him up. You're making. I've never seen this though. President Trump telling somebody else he's the most important man in the room. Not the president is the most powerful, most important. I mean, it just seems weird that an American president is calling somebody else the most important man in the room. We didn't vote for him. So Americans are like, what do you mean he's the most? I thought you were. I thought you were. I mean, am I missing something?
Don't worry. When I'm with other countries and the leaders sitting there, I say the same about them. Don't worry. Don't get carried away. No, the most respected, one of the great leaders, he told me when I was in his country, he said, and I use it all the time. Sometimes I refer to him because I have great respect for him. I figure it sells better. But he said exactly these words. He said, it's amazing what you've done. 1 year ago, your country was dead. And now you've got the hottest country in the world. You were the first one that said that. And I've used your name hundreds of times. I use your name, I say, that king of Saudi Arabia said. But anyway, but it's true. Turkey is down, think of that, 33%. And I'm not talking about the country of Turkey. He's doing fine. Erdogan is doing good. Just want to, I don't want him calling me. I'm not down 33%. He's a friend of ours. We got to take care of our friends.
Okay, Erdogan of Turkey. He's not a friend of ours. He's not a friend of Syria's either, who Trump just had over in the White House as well. Let me just reflect. Let me show you this video where Trump called him out, literally to his face, saying, you're a killer. Now he's calling him his friend. Check out this video.
He took over Syria. Nobody knows it was him. You know what? Yeah. He took over Syria. Nobody knows it was him. I said, congratulations. He didn't want to talk about it. I said, they've been trying to do it for 2,000 years. He's low-key. Well, I think President Erdogan is the one responsible for Syria, for the successful fight in ridding Syria of its past leader. And I think this man is responsible. He doesn't take the responsibility, but it's actually a great achievement. They've been trying to do it for 2,000 years. I said, he does it. He did it. I mean, they're your surrogates. I think you should take the credit for it. I told him, take the credit. For 2,000 years, you've been trying to take over Syria. He took over Syria, and he doesn't want to take the credit. You know, all of those people are his surrogates.
So I don't know how Trump got into his mind that all of a sudden the president of Turkey is Erdogan is our friend, when he's clearly not, because beforehand Trump knew he wasn't. But now he says he is. So somebody's in Trump's ear. And I don't know if the American people are okay with it. That's why I'm here to ask you. Are you okay with it?
He's a friend of ours. We got to take care of our friends. Since mortgage rates are down despite the Fed, I mean, Scott, you got to work on this guy. He's got some real mental problems. No, there's something wrong with him. It's just sweet. I'd be honest. I'd love to fire his ass. He should be fired. Guy's grossly incompetent. And he should be sued for spending $4 billion to build a little building. I'm building a ballroom that's going to cost a tiny fraction of that, and it's bigger than the whole thing put together. You got to work on him, Scott. The only thing Scott's blowing it on is the Fed. Because the Fed, the rates are too high, Scott. And if you don't get it fixed fast, I'm going to fire your ass, okay? I can't tell you, Scott, sir, don't fire him. Sir, please don't fire him. He's got 3 months to go. Don't fire him. I want to get him out, Scott. Please. He's the voice of reason. You're very lucky you have him, I'll tell you that. Done a good job. 50 states is a disaster because you have one woke state and you have to do all woke. You'll be back into the woke business. We don't have woke anymore in this country. It's virtually illegal. Together, the United States and Saudi Arabia are unleashing really the most incredible new prosperity together. And we're also making history and forging peace. And I've settled 8 raging conflicts, 8 wars. I've settled 8 wars. I have 1 to go. You know what that one is. I thought that was going to be my easy one because I have a good relationship with President Putin, but I'm a little disappointed in President Putin right now. He knows that. I settled 8 wars, and I'll tell you, His Majesty would like me to do something very powerful having to do with Sudan.
Okay, he settled 8 wars. He says he settled 8 wars, but you know, there's maybe he got a couple of them, maybe not 8, but we know which ones are in question. Right? India's like going crazy. He didn't settle our war. But India's like crazy. They hate that when he says it. I think that's why Trump says it so much, because he knows that India hates it. And this is like an anti-India thing here, because what Trump is doing is like, we're done with India. They're an afterthought. Now we're moving on to another. But here's this part of the video. Is the part that's really concerning, more so than almost all of it. Because when you have an Islamic State that is now calling some shots for the American people, even with war being involved, when you have an Islamic State whose president comes over and talks to you and says, okay, we need to do something about Sudan. We need to do something about this. Wait a minute. I thought America had its own advisors. What's the best interest for America? But now this other person is in his, these other people are in his ear. Why? Why is it so important that he appease these people like this? It's a serious, serious concern. I'm going to let this play through, and I want you to listen to what he says and how he says it. That he's saying, I didn't want to get involved in Sudan, but now that this guy told me to, Islamic State, Sharia law, somebody who America has stayed away from for a while. And I'm not saying that they're bad. I like the Saudi prince. I think he's a great guy. I really do. But my friendships with people should not determine, especially when I'm president, should not determine how I'm going to move forward the country. It's a totally different thing. But President Trump's friendship with these people has gotten to such a high level that the American people, their voices don't talk as loud and don't mean as much, maybe, to him as they once did. I'll let it finish out because I'm in lieu of time, I'll let this finish out.
And I'll tell you, His Majesty would like me to do something very powerful having to do with Sudan. It was not on my my charts to be involved in that. I thought it was just something that was crazy and out of control. But I just see how important that is to you and to a lot of your friends in the room. Sudan, and we're going to start working in Sudan. I didn't think that that was one that was going to be so easy to do, but we're going to start working. Muhammad said,
hear me out. You heard what he said. Because you said that it's so important to you, we're going to do this for you. Don't get me wrong. I think that Sudan needs superficial help from above even. It's crazy what's going on in Sudan, even as far as killing Nigerians and going into Nigeria and killing Christians in Sudan. It's horrific. But to say that, and I do believe that Trump needs to do something, and I agree with the Saudi prince here. Once again, I said I'm not against the Saudi prince or the Muslims on this. I'm with them. But when your president comes out and says, because you said so, we're going to do something. No, I don't like that thought in my head, knowing that okay, you know what I'm saying. But the situation in Sudan is horrible. It's horrific. And I pray for those people every day. And so should you. We're going to let this finish out. This time, we definitely will let it. If I can stay quiet during any of this. I know you can't either. Please comment down below and let me know what you think.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you to you. Thank you to you. No, it wasn't on my charts because I'm good at settling disputes. But working with the Crown Prince was amazing because he mentioned Sudan yesterday. And he said, sir, you're talking about a lot of wars, but there's a place on earth called Sudan. And it's horrible what's happening. And I viewed it as being no government, no this, no that. And he explained the whole culture and the whole history. It was very interesting to hear. Really amazing, actually, to hear. And you know, we've already started working on that. He said that would be the greatest thing you can do. That would be greater than what you've already done. That was your expression. Is that a correct expression? Pretty good. So we're working on that. We started about 30 minutes after you explained to us the great importance. I view it differently now than I did just a day ago. We're leading again in just every country. We want to win. We want to win for you. We want to win for ourselves. We want to help our allies. We want to change our enemies. I'm being nice when I say it that way, but we want to change them. And if they don't change, nasty, nasty. Hopefully we're not going to have to be nasty, but we want the world to prosper. We want the world to be safe. Our alliances are flourishing like they haven't before. You know, they're respecting America again. They didn't respect us. We were like a bunch of stupid people. We had a president that couldn't get up and talk, couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. We had people that didn't know what the hell they were doing. We were embarrassment all over the world. But now we have people that are respected at levels that we've never seen before. So I just want to tell you that this is a group that I respect. This is an amazing group of people, and it really is headed by that gentleman sitting right smack center with 2 seats in between him. He wants plenty of room. And he's going to be the king of Saudi Arabia right now. He's the most distinguished gentleman. He's my friend. And thank you very much for what you've done for us, and we will always be with you. Thank you, Mohammed. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
It's a new day because the Saudis are now in Pakistan, and Islam are now like this with the president of the United States. You thought Obama did it. This is like Obama on steroids. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. I want to thank you all for watching. And no matter what happens, God is good, Jesus is Lord, and you will stay blessed in Jesus' name. I pray. See you on the next one.